There's never been a better time to call for the government to invest in a living wage for mothers and carers, because the way women are treated when they report domestic violence and sexual assault is in many cases appalling. The government definition of domestic violence is any incident of threatening behaviour, violence or abuse, psychological, physical, sexual, financial or emotional between adults who are or have been intimate partners or family members. So this would then suggest that the government itself is complicit in carrying out acts of domestic violence against women because they're withholding the financial support to the victims that need it the most to leave their situations. We know that police and Sapphire units are already complicit in assisting offenders of sexual and domestic violence by the way they investigate the offences. The Southwark unit that was recently exposed for implementing their own policy of encouraging women to withdraw rape allegations. One woman who was raped by her partner and reported it to Southwark paid the price severely. They didn't record or investigate this crime, and her husband later went on to kill their children. Out of just 19 officers who have been investigated by the IPCC regarding their handling of these allegations, only 3 were sacked. 16 others were just given words of advice, and these are just the tip of the iceberg.
Shame.
Given that so many women can't rely on the police to keep them safe, they have to find other ways to protect themselves and their children, and the police often tell them to seek civil advice, civil proceedings in the form of non-molestation orders, restraining orders and court orders. But now, because of the cuts to legal aid, more than £350 million in the legal aid budget has been cut, which means that legal aid is now no longer available in matters relating to divorce or child custody, housing or benefits. So claimants have to rely on representing themselves in court where they have no expertise in this field. Many women also now face having to be cross-examined in court by the man that's abused them, because it's quite likely that those men can't afford legal aid either. And I don't know if any of us could imagine anything worse than going to court to fight for the right to keep your children and yourself safe and be cross-examined on a stand by the man that's raped you and abused you. Over 600,000 people are going to lose access to legal advice and legal representation, and many of these are women who are escaping violence, and they don't have the finances to support themselves because they're not considered worthy enough of having a wage. It's not considered keeping your children safe and happy, isn't considered important enough by this government to ensure that we can do it safely and with the finances that we need to do that. And I just wanted to finish by reading the names of some women that were killed by their partners or ex-husbands when they fell by the police. Lucinda Port, Kate Mott, Rebecca Seska, Arsema David, Karen McGraw, Claire Bernard, Bobby Stokoe. And these are just some women. These are just the tip of the iceberg, as I've said before. If they'd been in a more financially secure position, they could at least have had more of a chance to try and escape the men responsible for their deaths. It would have been another option for them rather than have to rely on a failing police force and a flawed justice system. And if there is only one reason why somebody signs this petition and why MPs should sign it in Parliament, it's in the memory of those women. So, and also to ensure that other women in the future aren't killed so horrifically just because they couldn't afford to leave.
Yeah.